Carax's station was one of the glittering jewels of Galactic Coalition space, 5 kilometers of alloy decking, thousands of personnel, dozens of ship bays, and the home of the elite interceptor wing known as Alpha Squadron, one of the most feared rapid response units in the entire galaxy. If aliens heard that Alpha Squadron had been deployed, the battle was as good as over. They were legends. They were veterans. They were undefeated, so when word spread that a new pilot was joining their prestigious ranks, soldiers and engineers dropped what they were doing just to watch the arrival. New pilots were rare, but a new pilot transferred in the middle of a war was unheard of. Whispers filled the hangar like static. It's a different species. I heard no way. They would never assign a non-veteran to Alpha Squadron. No one joins Alpha this late in the war unless they're special. Then the blast doors hissed open, and the laughter began. The new pilot wasn't the towering insectoid warlords of the Zed, nor the crystalline figures of the Zerri, nor the scaled warriors of the Krelek Armada. No, this pilot was short, slim, soft-looking, with dark hair tied behind her head and a face that still carried youth. Nothing about her looked dangerous. Nothing about her looked experienced. She looked like she should still be in flight school. A mechanic with blue wings squawked loudly, unable to contain himself. Is this a joke? They sent a human cadet. Another followed, mandibles clicking in amusement. Perhaps she wandered in by mistake. Should someone call station security? Behind her, Myra Hell stood with calm eyes and handed her datapad to the duty officer. The datapad was scanned, the readout projected into the air. Commander Myra Hale, species, human age, 26 assignments, sole defense, experimental wing fleet rating, Omega class, confirmed combat missions. 0. Someone snorted so loud half the hangar heard it. No combat missions. I've seen lab drones with more experience. Even the commanding officer of Alpha Squadron, a towering four-armed grove named Voktal, stared with disbelief. You, he rumbled, pointing one massive hand at her, are supposed to fly with my squadron. Myra only replied calm and steady, yes sir. The Graf laughed, deep and booming, shaking the air. Little human, what in the void convinced Fleet Command that you deserve this post? Do you even know which side of the ship the thrusters are on? More laughter, pilots pointed, technicians whispered. Everyone in the bay was certain this was a political favor, a clerical error, or a bizarre prank. Then the hangar lights flashed red. Incoming ship detected. Pilot, Commander Myra Hale, prepared docking clamps. The blast doors to the vacuum exterior slid open with a planetary rumble, giving a full feed from external cameras to the massive wall screens. No one was laughing anymore. A ship emerged from space, a sleek matte black vessel, smaller than a destroyer but shaped like an arrowhead, wings pulsing with halo-like fields of magnetic distortion. Its drive flare glowed blue-white, too bright, too powerful, so stable it seemed unreal. The ship glided toward the station with predatory grace. Engine techs stared, jaws dropping, mandibles hanging open, wings freezing in motion. What kind of output is that? No small craft can sustain that level of energy. It should melt itself, the pilot, and half the station. But it didn't. It continued forward effortlessly. Sensor data scrolled across the primary readout screen, and the hangar fell silent. Dark matter variable core singularity engine. Classification human experimental energy output, equivalent to a coalition battlecruiser status. Stable. No one spoke. Even the Grav captain's eyes widened. That's impossible, he muttered, mostly to himself. Our best scientists abandoned that project decades ago. One engineer, trembling, whispered they actually did it. Humans cracked singularity power. Still in stunned silence, the docking arms extended and locked gently onto the ship's chassis. The ramp deployed with a hiss of pressurized air, and Myra Hale walked up it without any hint of pride or swagger. She merely returned the salute of the deck chief and stepped inside. In the cockpit, she strapped herself in, fingers moving across holographic controls with ease. The dark matter core hummed like a caged star with nowhere to go. Voktal stood below, staring up at the ship that had already rewritten galactic engineering. He opened a private channel. Pilot Hale, how many ships like that does your species have? Myra paused. One. Gasps rippled over the open channels. The Grav captain spoke again, voice low and grim. One ship is not enough to stop the Zaya Dominion. Their fleets number in the thousands. This ship is not my weapon, Myra said. I am her ship. Launched before anyone could reply. The dark matter core flared once, and the vessel simply vanished. No acceleration curve, no jump signature, no hyperspike. It was just gone. Technicians scrambled wildly. Track her, track her. She outran every sensor array we have. The computer thinks she moved, faster than light, inside normal space. Before they could understand what had happened, a new alert flashed across every display. Battle report from forward sector. The Zaya Dominion had launched another full-scale assault. Developmentally perfect machines, cold metal mines, their numbers overwhelming. Coalition fleets had been falling back for months, losing ground at every engagement. Until now. The report was short, but enough to shake the entire station. Fleet engagement lasted 3 minutes. Zaya command carrier destroyed. Dominion fleet disabled. Unknown human vessel responsible. No friendly casualties. The entire hangar hall erupted into stunned silence. Someone finally squeaked. She took out an entire invasion fleet, alone. Voktal stared at the live combat feed replaying silently on the screens. A single black arrow-shaped ship dove into the heart of the Zaya formation, darting faster than their automated weapons could track. Dark matter thrust flares turned her into a blur of impossible trajectories. Mechs exploded, carriers ignited, command cores crashed and died in cascading system failures. She had done it in minutes. When Myra returned, the hangar was silent. Not a single chuckle, not a single sarcastic whisper. Every alien stood at attention. Even Victula, war veteran who had fought in 4 different campaigns, bowed his head as she stepped onto the deck. He spoke softly, with 4 arms across his chest in a full military salute. "I apologize, Commander. Hell, I misjudged you." Mira just smiled. "Most people do." A Valerian engineer fluttered up nervously. "Human, how did your species create an engine like that?" She shrugged lightly. "We don't like losing." Word spread through the station, then the fleet, then the galaxy. Humans didn't just design another weapon that changed the rules of warfare. A species who had only entered the galactic stage a few decades earlier had just done what empires thousands of years old could not. They made the impossible engine real. And they gave it to a young pilot with courage, an iron mind, and something no alien strategist had ever truly understood: the human refusal to accept defeat. From that day forward, no one laughed when a human pilot walked onto a hangar deck, because somewhere, in the deep of space, another human might already be building an engine capable of rewriting the universe.